Hey guys, Organized Biology here, and we're going to be quickly going through cell transport. There's 6 different types I'm going to go through in this video. They can be characterized in 2 different ways, and let's get started. So first off, cell transport, moving things into and out of the cell. There's 2 big categories. There's passive and active, and just by the names, you can notice that passive doesn't need energy. It does not require an energy source, whereas active transport does require energy, and that's in the form of ATP. We're going to start with passive transport. There's 3 different types of passive transport. There is diffusion, where solutes like oxygen are moving from an area of high to low concentration with no energy required. So what would happen here across the cell membrane, it would go from area high to low concentration. So oxygen is going to go in until both sides are at equilibrium. So there's an equal concentration on both sides. That's diffusion, the movement of solutes from high to low concentration. Osmosis, the second kind, is the movement of oxygen. It's exactly, sorry, I said oxygen. It's the movement of water, okay? It's exactly the same as diffusion, just looking at the motion of water. Now, water will tend to move towards the area where there's more solutes. I'll say that again. Water will move to the area with more solutes. So if you look over here, there's a lot more solute concentration outside of the cell than inside of the cell, and there's a lot more water here. So what water is going to do is move to the area of higher solute concentration. So it's going to move out of the cell. The motion of that water, no energy required, is called osmosis. Last one, facilitated diffusion. Here I've got these beautiful glucose molecules. They're too big to get through the membrane. They're a lot bigger than water and oxygen in this case, so they need a protein channel. So facilitated diffusion is just diffusion with the help of a protein channel. Think of this as like a large garage door allowing bigger things in, whereas the membrane is a tiny little door. Protein channel is a large door, brings in bigger molecules, charged ions, those types of things. So the glucose, once again, it's diffusion. It's going to move from high to low concentration until both sides are at equilibrium. And I won't draw all those, but they would be at the same concentration inside and outside of the cell. That's all passive, no energy required. Let's move on to active. So active, these are things like pumps, endocytosis, and exocytosis. Let's go through each one. First off, pumps. These are protein channels in the cell membrane embedded. So if this is the cell membrane, this is a pump. Okay, so this pump specifically is going to pump against the concentration gradient. What I mean by that is instead of going from high to low concentration that didn't require energy, since we're pumping them from low to high concentration, it requires energy. So if we look here, there's a lot of sodium here, not much sodium here. So what it's going to want to do is move in. In this case, for potassium, potassium's high concentration here, low concentration here, but the pump is going to work against it. So it's going to use ATP energy, and it's going to pump, I get the wrong colors here, it's going to pump, what color is that, orange? Sodium out of the cell, and it's going to bring potassium into the cell. So this potassium is going to come in, sodium is going to go out. It requires energy because it's pumping against the concentration gradient. That's just one example of a pump, the most important. It actually uses 70% of the ATP in your body is the sodium-potassium pump. Now, other two, endocytosis, exocytosis. Endo means in, exo means out, cyto means cell. So literally, into the cell, out of the cell. This requires energy. So if you're doing endocytosis, you get this large nutrient or something that's coming into the cell. It'll fuse with the membrane and bring it into the cell. Whereas exocytosis, you want to get something out, so you're exporting it, exo. So it's going to take maybe some chemical messengers, fuse it with the membrane, kick it out of the cell, and all of those things do require energy. So that's a crash course on cell transport. Hopefully this was helpful. Drop any questions in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day and happy cell transporting.